Now, a few months ago, a shocking story went viral. Allegations against Jay-Z that took the internet by storm. An anonymous woman referred to as Jane Doe claimed that Jay-Z was involved in a disturbing incident alongside Sean Diddy Combs. These allegations quickly became a hot topic, dominating headlines and social media discussions. Jay-Z himself publicly dismissed them as completely false. For the past few months, these accusations have loomed over Jay-Z's name, severely impacting his reputation. But now there's been a major development, one that completely flips the narrative. Reports suggest that the woman behind these claims has admitted she lied, allegedly confessing this to a private investigator who was looking into the case. So today, let's break it down from how it all started to where things stand now. Back in December 2024, a lawsuit was filed in New York federal court where Jane Doe alleged that Jay-Z and Diddy drugged and assaulted her at an after-party following the 2000 MTV Video Music Awards. This case was actually an updated version of a lawsuit originally filed in October 2024, which at first only named Diddy as the defendant. But as time went on, Jay-Z's name was suddenly added to the case, making the situation even more explosive. These allegations were nothing short of shocking. They spread like wildfire, dominating headlines and sparked heated debates about both men. For Jay-Z, this was a serious blow to his public image, while Diddy was already at the center of controversy, dealing with major lawsuits and disturbing accusations. Jay-Z's alleged involvement came as a major twist. According to the allegations, these are the events that allegedly took place that night. In the year 2000, when the accuser, referred to as Jane Doe, was 13 years old, she claimed that she was assaulted at a house party following the MTV Video Music Awards in New York City. According to the lawsuit, Jane Doe was dropped off near the VMAs at Radio City Music Hall. Despite not having a ticket, she allegedly attempted to gain entry or find access to an after-party by approaching limousine drivers outside the venue. One driver, who reportedly worked for Diddy, allegedly told her she fit the type he was looking for and invited her to a party later that night. The lawsuit stated that later that evening, the same driver picked Jane Doe up and drove her to a white house with a U-shaped driveway. Upon arrival, she was allegedly asked to sign what she believed was a non-disclosure agreement, also known as an NDA, to enter, though she was never given a copy. Inside the house, the lawsuit described a chaotic scene with celebrities present and open drug use. At some point, Jane Doe claimed she was offered a drink, which made her feel woozy and lightheaded, forcing her to lie down in a room. She alleged that Diddy and Jay-Z entered the room, with Diddy reportedly saying, "You are ready to party." The suit claimed that Jay-Z then removed her clothes and assaulted her, while Diddy and an unnamed female celebrity watched. It further alleged that Diddy then assaulted her as Jay-Z and the woman watched all this go down. At one point, the lawsuit stated that Jane Doe resisted and hit Diddy in the neck, causing him to stop. She then allegedly grabbed the clothes and fled the house, eventually making her way to a gas station where she called her father for help. These allegations quickly spread, fueling intense discussions online and in the media. While Jay-Z and his legal team maintained his innocence from the start, the case led to many people having a negative perception of Jay-Z. However, after extensive legal back and forth, a major development shifted everything. After months of speculation and legal uncertainty, a major development occurred. On February 14, 2025, the lawsuit against Jay-Z was officially dismissed with prejudice, meaning it cannot be refiled in the future. When the case was dismissed, Jay publicly addressed the situation in a statement by saying, "Today is a victory. The frivolous, fictitious, and appalling allegations have been dismissed." Jay also took direct aim at the legal system and the lawyer behind the case, Tony Busby, criticizing how easily false lawsuits can be filed. This 1-800 lawyer gets to file a suit hiding behind Jane Doe, and when they quickly realize that the money grab is gonna fail, they get to walk away with no repercussions. "The system has failed," Jay-Z said. Jay-Z didn't take the easy way out by settling or paying anyone off. From the moment the allegations surfaced, he pushed back against them, refusing to be pressured into silence because, according to him, he knew the truth was on his side. Even after the case was dismissed, the impact on his reputation had already been felt. Now, Jay-Z wasn't about to let this one slide. For months, his name was dragged through the mud over allegations that, according to him, were completely fabricated. But instead of letting the case disappear, he decided to fight back. Now, the first aspect of how he did it is Jay actually ended up suing his accuser. On March 3rd, 2025, Jay-Z took things a step further, filing a lawsuit of his own in Alabama federal court against Jane Doe and her legal team. His claim that she admitted that her story was false, yet still moved forward with the lawsuit anyway, allegedly at the direction of her lawyer. This wasn't just about clearing his name. Jay-Z said that these accusations came with a big price. His legal team argues that the lawsuit caused massive damages to his reputation, and that his company, Roc Nation, lost over $20 million because of it. But of course, Busby isn't backing down either. He's calling Jay-Z's lawsuit baseless, dismissing it as nothing more than a tactic to intimidate his client. According to Busby, Jane Doe never admitted to lying. Instead, he claims that Jay-Z's legal team is trying to rewrite the narrative. But here's where things take an even bigger turn. New details have surfaced that change everything. It turns out that Jay-Z's team had already been working behind the scenes to uncover the truth, and that's when two private investigators got involved. On February 21, 2025, Charlotte Henderson and James Butler, both private investigators, met with Jane Doe at her home in Alabama. The meeting took place on the front porch of her residence, where she confirmed her identity as the woman behind the lawsuit filed in New York federal court in October 2024. According to Charlotte Henderson, only she and James Butler and Jane Doe were present during the meeting. Throughout their conversation, Jay-Z's accuser, Jane Doe, appeared calm, at ease, and engaged freely. Her body language, nodding, a relaxed posture, and a steady tone of voice suggested that she didn't feel scared or intimidated. At no point did she ask them to leave or indicated that she was not comfortable. During their conversation, Jane Doe shared details about how she became involved in the case. She stated that she was referred to attorney Tony Busby, who later took on her case and moved forward with filing the lawsuit. And this is where things take an interesting turn. According to Jane Doe, Jay-Z's accuser, she met attorney Tony Busby, the lawyer behind the case, for the first time in Houston, Texas. He allegedly paid for a flight to meet him in person. Their meeting took place during a trip arranged by Busby, where she was flown out specifically to give an interview for NBC News, which was conducted in Busby's office. According to the private investigator, Charlotte Henderson's declaration, Jane Doe stated that Jay-Z did not grape nor assault her in any way. She also allegedly revealed that when she first approached attorney Tony Busby, she only accused Diddy and a well-known female celebrity. However, attorney Busby allegedly encouraged her to include Jay-Z in the accusations, even though she hadn't originally named him. If this is true, this would explain why Jay-Z has been aggressively going at Busby, trying to hold him accountable for what he claims is an attempt to defame him. Jane Doe allegedly admitted that Tony Busby pushed her to include Jay-Z in the lawsuit, telling investigators, Busby brought Jay-Z into it, and he was the one that kind of pushed me towards going forward with it. According to Jane Doe, Busby asked if Jay-Z had been at the party, and she confirmed that he was. However, she made it clear that Jay-Z never touched her and played no role in the alleged assault. During the interview with private investigators, she reaffirmed Jay-Z had nothing to do with it, and other than being at the party, he didn't really assault her, and he was just there, but he didn't have anything to do with any sexual acts towards her. Jane Doe also alleged that attorney Busby's law firm told her that she could receive a payout if she pursued Jay-Z. The attorney told her that Jay-Z was threatening to kill her, a claim that remains unverified. So that's the story. Jay-Z had a bunch of allegations against him from this woman who was allegedly 13 at the time. She said, Jay did this to me, along with Diddy, and sometime after that, the case got dismissed. Now, Jay was fighting back the whole time, and he not only sued her, but the two private investigators who were working on the case somehow managed to essentially get her to admit that all this was, allegedly cap. Now, the question is, did these private investigators make all this up? Well, since this was a sworn declaration under penalty of perjury, if the investigators were lying, they'd be risking serious legal consequences. So probably not, but then again, you never know. Now, Jay-Z's accuser actually ended up responding back. In new court filings submitted on March 3rd, 2025, Jane Doe stood by her original allegations, claiming she never admitted to fabricating the story. Not only that, but she also alleged that when these investigators approached her last month, the experience left her intimidated and terrified. She further denied that the attorney, Tony Busby, pressured her into suing, pushing back against the accusations that he had orchestrated the entire case. Jay-Z's lawyer wasted no time, doubling down on their claims by offering sworn testimony from the private investigators and demanding that Jane Doe sit for a deposition to clarify her stance once and for all. So the question is, do I think that Jay-Z did it? Well, when a story starts shifting this much, when new details keep surfacing, contradicting past claims, it usually means something isn't adding up. Between her alleged private confession, the investigator's sworn testimony, and the lawsuit being dropped without an initial explanation, it's hard to see this as anything other than a case that fell apart under scrutiny. Obviously, I, wasn't there, but for me, it's leaning more towards the fact that Jay might be innocent. That's just what I personally think. I don't know if Jay-Z's a good guy or not. I'm not here to vouch for him, but there's no denying that cases like this come with serious incentives, whether it's financial gain, media attention, or legal leverage. A big bag of money is usually enough for someone to come out the cut in this fashion, right? For someone like Diddy, there was an overwhelming amount of evidence stacked against him, but in a case like this, where the details keep shifting and the narrative feels convoluted, it's a lot harder to believe if you ask me. But I'm curious what you guys think. If you made it till the end, drop a like for the algorithm. If you're new here, my name is Blacky Speaks. Nice to meet you. Very curious what you guys have to say about these allegations against Jay-Z and everything that transpired after that. You let me know in the comment section below. I'll catch you there. But most importantly of all, I'll catch you guys on the next video. I'm out. Peace. Deuces.